Okay. Hello, everyone. We are recording now. Happy New Year to everybody. I am super excited about the year, and I think there's so much to look forward to. And I'm excited about the new product. I'm excited about conference. There's a lot to be excited about. And so I wanted to jump on really quickly and share with you guys just few things that are really, really, really on my heart, and something that I've been thinking about a lot. And so I'm going to share that, and then you guys can share your thoughts with me about what you think. First, let me just tell you just kind of one of my vision that God gave me back probably starting in July was what my purpose is in this business. And it's been exciting to finally figure that out, because for a long time I didn't really know what that was. And so my word for this year, if you saw me post about it, was freedom. And that goes into all kinds of areas for me. But one of the things that I really desire to do is not only to have freedom for myself in my life, and that could be, being debt free. That's freedom in my health, to have freedom from some of the issues I'm dealing with. It's all different kinds of things, but it's also to help others find freedom in their lives in different areas. And so one of the ways that I really love to do that is to pour into people, try to speak as much truth and life into people as I possibly can. Because here's the thing. The only way that we're ever going to be successful at stuff is if we believe that we can, and if we believe in ourselves, and if we work on our mindset. And that's what I've been thinking a lot about, is mindset and belief. And Amy and I were talking today about, what was it that really got us excited about this business? What was it that really made us start moving? Because when I started, I didn't jump right in and run. I didn't take off with the business. It took me a while to get started. I was just kind of playing around with it for a while, and so what did it for me was when I went to an event in Dallas, and I got to hear stories. I got to hear the leaders speak at the heart of the company. That really changed things for me. But then I was thinking, and I told her, I'm like, well, there were other people with us at that event, and they're not even doing this anymore, So yes, events are part of it, but it's not everything, right? I mean, there's people that go to conference, and then, a few months later, they're not even working the business anymore, or they've quit, or so it's got to be more than that, right? So a lot of times, and I'm sure you guys have either probably told yourself this, or you've heard somebody else say it to you, things like, well, this just isn't for me, or that's just not for me, or I'm just not good at this, or I just can't do this, or it's not working. People don't want what I have. People don't want to be on my team. People don't want to be a part of what I'm doing. Those things either have crossed our mind, or we've said them, or we've heard other people say them. And the reality is that when we say those things, we could quit doing this, and then we could go do something else. Or even if you apply this to a regular job, a job that you're doing, any time where we say, I just can't do this, or it's not working for me, or whatever. The reality is when you go do something else, you're going to find that the same thing happens, right? It's going to happen again. And that's why people will hop around from business to business, or from job to job, or they'll quit and give up, whatever it is, because they haven't figured out yet that the problem is themselves, right? Because you take yourself wherever you go. You can't get away from yourself, right? So if you're taking yourself into the new business or the new job or whatever, you are still there. And so we have to figure out that we're the problem, right? And it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but we have to recognize it. I have to recognize that my own mind can hold me back. And so I have, yes, I've had some success in this business. Yes, I've been doing it for a while, but there are plenty of times where I have thought, well, I'm not sure why I'm doing this. I'm not good at this. I can't do this. Why am I doing this? All of those questions are normal, but it always comes back to, well, what am I believing? What is my mindset like? And so I listened to a Zoom that Pam Souter and Dr. Don did last week, and we posted it in the Team Purpose page. It is so good. And one of my things that I'm committing to this year in my goals is to do more self-development, read more, and listen more to things. And so I listened to that Zoom, and it was all about the power of belief. And y'all, we are truly blessed that our company, in part of their training and in part of what they're doing for us, is they are really trying to, they know that mindset is everything, and they know that they need to help us with that. And so it was talking about, one of the things they were talking about in that Zoom was whatever you're saying to yourself, whatever you're believing in your mind, you're going to naturally attract those kinds of people to you. So if you're constantly thinking and constantly telling yourself, well, I just can't sign up loyal customers, or nobody wants what I have, or I just can't find a distributor, they don't want to be a part of that. If you're thinking that all the time, then you're going to attract those kind of people. And so they were talking about changing that mindset. And even though it feels kind of weird and it feels different, it is weird and different when you're not used to it. But you really have to say the opposite of what you're feeling and what you're thinking. And like, there is a lot of power in your words and in your thoughts. And I'm not trying to say that in a weird, like, ungodly way, because it's biblical that there's power in our words and in our thoughts. And so, one of the things that I told myself for this year was I don't want to be known for having food issues or like food sensitivity issues. Because, I talk about that a lot because it's been a problem, and I've had all these food sensitivities and hormone issues and all these things going on. I don't want to be known for that, and it's like, I want to change the way I'm speaking about it. And even though I have issues with that still, I need to change my mindset about it, and I need to focus more on my healing and what I'm doing in that area instead of always talking about what's wrong with me. And so we need to start talking more about the positive things and what we want, and saying those things instead of focusing on what we don't have and what we can't do. And that's not easy. The hardest thing you're ever going to do is to change your mind. It really is. Some people will do it and some people won't. And that's okay, because everybody has the choice. But the reality is that this business is more up here than anywhere else. Y'all probably have figured that out. If you've been in this any longer than like a week, right? You realize that, okay, the steps are simple. It's simple to make a post. It's simple to tell somebody about a product. It's simple to do some of those things. What's not simple is dealing with the no's, dealing with the people quitting on you, dealing with your mind constantly telling you that you're not going to make it in this. That's not simple. And so I am committed to myself to work more on my mind this year than ever before. And yes, I'm going to do actions. Yes, I'm going to do daily actions. Yes, I'm going to keep doing what I have to do as far as building my business. But I can guarantee you, if I work more on my mind, I'm going to be better prepared to do those other things. One of the things at night that I get caught up in is like, I'll get in my bed to go to bed and I'll pick up my phone. And y'all already know, right? As soon as you pick up your phone, it's just over, right? You're not going to get anything else done. Even in my mind, I could be telling myself, okay, well, I'm just going to look for a minute and then I'm going to read my book, right? Well, as soon as I pick up my phone, an hour's passed maybe, and I've scrolled through all of Facebook and I've scrolled through all of Instagram, and now I'm too tired, and so I can't read. So I always have books laying by my bed. And so I love John Maxwell. One of the ones that I'm reading is this one that I sent you the picture of last night. It's Put Your Dream to the Test. And so last night I told myself, okay, you are not picking up your phone until you read in your book. And so I did it, and once I started reading, it's just easier to keep reading. And then by the time I was done, I was tired and didn't want to pick up my phone anyway. And so I'm committed to doing that because I know that I have to change my mind. I have to change my mind. And I want to help you all do the same thing because I know that if you don't, I don't know how long you'll stick around. I mean, some of y'all have been around a long time, but really, if we don't commit to working on our mindset, then I truly believe we can only last so long, right? I mean, it's just too hard. And part of working on our mindset is doing things like this and being around other people and encouraging each other and listening to other people's stories. And so belief is the key. Believing that you are worth it and believing that you can do things and you can be successful is so, so important. But yet, a lot of times people get caught up in the failure trap, I've gotten caught up in the failure trap myself. And so that's when it's even more important to know, okay, well, if I'm feeling like that, then I need to reach out to somebody and ask for help. Ask for some encouragement. I need to go listen to a YouTube video. I need to go read a book. I need to go pray, whatever it is you need to do. I've been watching a lot more videos as well, YouTube videos. There's some short ones. There's some long ones. So there's so many good ones that I'm trying to fill my mind with things that are going to help me. Because I guarantee you, if you're feeling down and negative and you go and listen to something, it's going to be really hard for you to stay negative and to stay in a bad mood. You're going to pull yourself out of it because you're going to hear something that snaps you out of it, or, just an aha moment or whatever. And so I encourage you guys to do that. So I want to ask you a question. By the way, we're all in San Antonio. So are you guys all coming to the training on Saturday at Amy's? I don't know if, Julie, I think, was a maybe. Are you a maybe, Julie? Okay. Amanda, are you coming?
I'll be out of town that day.
Okay. We're going to be talking a lot more about this on Saturday as well, and some things that we can do to build up our belief and our mindset. So, hey, Brittany. Oh, good. Lisa said, that's very true. I was really in a funk and listened to Pam's call with Ashley and Daniel yesterday. So encouraging. Yes, that was a great call. So just things like that, like deciding, okay, I'm going to get on this and listen to it instead of staying in our own discouragement, right? And in our own pit. So let me ask you this one question, and we'll end with this, and just something to think about is if you think about all of 2016, or if you were not in the business all of 2016, what do you think, what is the one thing that really holds you back the most? What is it that, and I'm going to, I'm going to mute everybody. Yeah, I'm going to keep it muted, but you guys can unmute yourself, and I'd really like to hear from you, hear you share. What is one thing that you think really held you back as far as mindset? Something you struggle with that you need to work on this year. I'll share one with you real quick. One of mine is procrastination. I procrastinate and it drives me nuts. And I even had on my last year's goals to quit procrastinating and to do things different. And so this year, one of the things I wrote down was do it now. Whatever it is, I'm just constantly telling myself, do it now, do it now, do it now, get it done. Because I'm so done with putting things off. And so I am working on that. And that kind of, I don't know if that's really mindset, but I am definitely working on procrastination. So what is something that you feel like held you back in your mind over the last year, or something maybe you're struggling with right now? Because whatever that is, that's what you've got to focus on and work on. That's what you need to read a book about. That's what you need to listen to some YouTube videos or phone calls on. Though that's what you have to work on in order to move forward and move past it. Don't everybody jump in at once.
I know I struggle with time management.
Okay.
I have so much going on. I work full time and have the kids and football and gymnastics that I struggle with how to make time for everything and get this going too.
That one right there is probably one of the number one things I hear from a lot of leaders even. You are the typical, Amanda, what you just described is the typical life of the person that's in this business. Most people are not doing this full time. Most people are working a full-time job, have a family, are trying to figure out how to make all this work. And so there are some great phone calls that, and even in some Zooms and YouTube things, and I can give you some names of people to look up on YouTube. But there's some great tips on what people are doing to, to conquer that challenge, because time can definitely be a challenge. But if you have 15 minutes a day, and that's it, you can actually get a lot done in 15 minutes for your business if you're intentional with it. And so there's some great tips and things that people have to help you with that. But I know people even on this Zoom right here will tell you, and I have struggled with time management. It's definitely something that takes practice, and you'll make progress. It's kind of one of those things where you'll keep progressing. It's not ever something we perfect really, but you just keep trying to figure it out, But thank you for sharing that. That one is definitely one that everybody can probably relate to at some level. Anybody else?
I think mine is worrying about what people are going to think if I'm posting too much or too little. And so I'm like, well, I'm not going to post this because I've already posted like 3 times this, and I follow the formulas that I found online that said, you need to post this many times with this and this many times with this. And so when I'm really passionate about posting something, I'll hold back and be like, wait, but I didn't post enough family stuff. I'm not allowed to do that. And then I don't post at all anything. And so I just need to make sure I'm always sharing.
So yeah, and there's confidence, right? Being confident in who you are and moving forward in that's something that is a great focus for you. That's even, I'm working on that too, is working on my own confidence and being okay with whatever I do and not worrying about what other people think. That's a hard one, and it definitely doesn't go away overnight. Anybody else have one they want to share?
For me, it's pretty much what it's always been, but it doesn't seem to get any easier. But just feeling stuck or feeling like, okay, you've made progress, you move ahead a little, and then it's like one step forward and way too many back. And it's just, it seems like a vicious cycle, things will get better and then, okay, I'm back here. Mm-hmm. And it gets discouraging, and I guess you wouldn't be normal if you weren't discouraged, but, if it wasn't for my team that kept me inspired and motivated, then I probably would have quit a long time ago. But and it's a struggle, especially when things people quit on you, and
mm-hmm.
you finally get someone and they quit on you, and that's kind of the story of my life. So,
I was meeting this morning with a couple people, Jill and Jonica, and we were talking about that you have to get to a point where everybody starts for the money. Most people start because they want to make extra money. They need the money. They want to add money to their family. But there comes a point where it's got to be more than that, because like you said, people are going to quit. They're going to quit on you. You're going to have to deal with rejection from people. There's all these things you're going to have to deal with. So eventually the money becomes not worth it enough. Like some people won't stick around because it's just not worth it. They can't handle all the junk that comes with it. So just the fact that everybody's still here, you've already pushed through challenges and obstacles up to this point, no matter how long you've been in the business. So you're already overcoming things, and so you should definitely be proud of that you've stuck around and you haven't given up and you haven't quit. But I was telling them that, eventually you have to get to a point where there's got to be a bigger reason why you're a part of this, because people can go find money anywhere. Yes, network marketing is a wonderful and powerful tool to get residual income. But if money is all people want, then eventually, if this isn't working for them, they're going to go somewhere else, right? So it has to be something bigger. And figuring out what that is a challenge. But I encourage you all to think about what that is for yourself. What is it about this kind of company and this whole idea of network marketing and building a team and building residual income? What is it that really is going to keep you around doing this? Is it the money? You can make some really great money in this, but there has to come a point where it's got to be something bigger. And for me, it is something bigger than that. It's helping others. It's pouring into others. It's giving back more than ever before. It's building homes for people that can't build their own home. It's ministry. My dreams have changed a lot since I first started, but when they weren't that when I first started, it was just, let's try this and see what happens, So think about that. What really matters to you? What really, really, really matters to you? What is it that you really want to make a difference with? Because eventually you're going to have to come to that point where it's just not going to be about the money. It's going to be about more. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so Jill says she doesn't know how to unmute herself. Well, here. Okay, I am muted. Jill. Where's she at? Okay. Jill, I unmuted you. Are you there? Okay, I'm going to read what she said because she said, I don't know how to unmute myself, but I want to stick around to help others find joy and self-improvement, make money, and make a difference. And I want my name to pack a powerful punch. That's awesome, Jill. Okay. Anybody else want to say anything before we end this? And then I'll stop the recording so that those that couldn't join us can listen in. I really, the whole point of this Zoom is this year, my goal is to help you all find freedom in your mindset, freedom in belief, freedom in your own confidence, and finding what it is that you are really passionate about, finding your strengths, because that is what is going to help you continue on and to you're going to find passion in that. You're going to be more passionate about this if you can find that. Find what you're really good at. Find your strength. Find your groove. Find your niche in this business. And then you're going to keep going. And that's what I want to help you find. And so one of the things I'm going to be doing is I'm going to do some more training videos. Some will be short, some might be a little bit longer, but I want to do some training videos that I put on my YouTube channel that I can just share with you. So like if somebody's struggling with something, that I can just say, hey, here's a video that I did on this, listen to this. And so what I would like for you to do is send me a message and tell me what are some things that you would like a training video on. What are some things that maybe we don't have out there that you want to be able to have access to, whether it's for yourself or whether it's for a teammate. Something that you hear a lot from people that you're like, oh, it'd be really nice if I just had a really quick little video that I could send to this person on this topic. And it can be about belief and mindset. It can be about other things as well. So send me a message and let me know what those things are. And then I want to give you a little just challenge to commit to yourself for the year. Make a commitment to yourself that you're not going to give up on yourself, that you're not going to give up on your goals, that you're not going to give up on your dreams. And when I say commitment, it doesn't mean that you're not going to fail at times. It doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be obstacles along the way, but commit to yourself that you are, you're going to keep going because you know that you're worth it, and you know that God has a plan for you and a purpose in this. And that is, that's pretty awesome, you know? So you're here for a reason, and you're here for a purpose, and find out what that is. It's bigger than you think. So I'm excited to hear how everybody, grows and changes this year. And I'm excited to watch it and see it. It's going to be awesome. Jill says that her goal is to be more tech savvy. Jill, we love it. Isn't it awesome that I can talk and you can't even talk back to me? That's awesome. We're so glad you're here, Jill. Okay. Well, I am going to stop the recording.